Hey everybody, Big Ben Roethlisberger has been suspended for 6 games for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy. The suspension can be reduced to 4 games if Big Ben behaves himself. Now the obvious question becomes, with Big Ben not being charged or even arrested for sexual assault, was the punishment too harsh? Think of it like this. This is not just about what's fair or appropriate for Big Ben, it's also about what's fair and appropriate for the league. The NFL's reputation is just as important as Big Ben's. It's actually way more important. And I think, in the long run, the NFL is better off erring on the side of maybe being too harsh than being too lenient. Now here's what I mean. Let's talk about what we know. Big Ben was accused of sexual assault twice. 2 times. Not once. He wasn't suspended after the first time, he was suspended after the second time. This is a repeated pattern of bad judgment. It's not a coincidence. Big Ben isn't the most unlucky guy on the face of the earth. At some point, he's got to be held accountable for putting himself in bad positions. And if you look at some of the testimony by the accuser and some of the witnesses, it's hard to believe this whole thing is completely fabricated. I don't know exactly what happened in that bathroom, but I do know that it's very possible Big Ben is still getting off easy in this whole thing. And you look at all of this stuff, how it's been covered, how it's been talked about, the severity of the accusations, that affects the integrity of the NFL. That goes right to the integrity of the league. They have to do something about it. You gotta put your foot down hard instead of tippy-toeing around the subject. That just doesn't work. By putting your foot down hard, people look at the NFL and say, hey, that's a league that doesn't put up with any garbage. That's a league that doesn't just talk about holding their players to a high standard. They actually enforce it. It's going to be better in the long run for the NFL to come down hard than be too lenient. And think about this. What do people always say about the Pittsburgh Steelers? What do they say about the Steelers organization? Well, it's a well-run, respected, class organization, right? That's what they always say. And it's true. That's exactly what it is. How do you think they got that reputation? They don't put up with garbage. And that's exactly what the NFL is doing. They're not putting up with garbage. And they're better off in the long run taking that exact approach. So to answer the question, was the punishment too severe? No, it wasn't. I'm Brian Noe, and that's a no-brainer.